How do you fight your battles? I know how I fight mine. Good morning, guys and girls. August 30. Can you believe it? We have just about used up another month. Okay, we're going to look at 2 Chronicles 20. Oh, God, I almost thought it was going to be 2020, 2015. 2 Chronicles 20:15. The battle is not yours, it's God's. The battle is not yours, it is God's. Actually, it says the battle is not your battle. The battle is not your battle, it is God's. One of the best ways to get a youngster hooked on fishing is to hook the fish, hand the child the rod, and let him or her battle the fish. Most kids will learn really quickly that they're not actually catching the fish, but the important thing is that they are having fun. I can remember back taking my little granddaughter Jordan fishing when she was 4 or 5 years old, and we would always, when we get a hook fish on, either Chris or I or Sherry, whomever was in the boat, Jamie, her dad, would hand her the rod and let her wind it in. And then they'd be talking about catching fish, and somebody'd say, well, I caught 10, and somebody else say, I've only caught 3, but I've been handicapped. I've got a handicap. And that means that they were handing Jordan that rod, so they didn't catch quite as many, because she would lose quite a few of the fish because she wasn't experienced at battling the fish back in those days. And so, when they started talking about things about a handicap when she was real little, and somebody would say a handicap, she'd say, I know what a handicap is. It's me. I'm a handicap. And it's when somebody else hooks the fish and hands you the rod and lets you wind it in. So anyway, it worked pretty good. She had a lot of fun doing it. And now she's actually hooking fish and handing them to some of the other grandkids. We all have battles as we go through life. My preacher, actually a former preacher, he's actually retired now, Dr. Andy Bowman, says you've either just fought a battle, you're in one now, or one is just about to happen. That pretty much pegs the slip sinker. We can fight, or we can let God fight. The choice is ours, but it takes a pretty mature Christian to hand the battle over to God. You know, there's a song out there, and I think it's Michael J. Smith or somebody that sings it, that says, it's not Michael J. Smith. Chris says, I don't know who it is. But anyway, it says, this is how I fight my battles. When it looks like I'm surrounded by you. So that's like the whole words, the entire song right there. But anyway, it's just like a great, great song. And that's it. I could have written that song. When it looks like I'm surrounded by you. This is how I fight my battles. And that's exactly how we should fight our battles. We should let God fight our battles. It takes a pretty mature Christian to hand the battle over to God. Save yourself some trouble and give your next battle to God right away. There's another song out there that I really like. It's called Grace Wins Every Time. And it gives examples in the Bible of almost impossible situations that God fought the battle, and grace wins. Grace wins every time. Whatever battle you're in right now, whatever problem you're facing, turn that over to God. God will fight that battle for you. God will win that battle. If I remember back in 2 Chronicles, I don't remember that exactly the battle they were fighting right there, but the children of Israel was in a situation that was all but impossible to win. And God told them, the battle's not yours, it's mine, it's God's. The battle is not your battle, it's God's battle. Here's our tip for the day. On a really good piece of structure, try several different casting angles. That's right, the angle you're throwing at that structure. If you're throwing at a log or a bush or an underwater structure, a rock pile, a point, and you're throwing at this angle right here, if you move your boat 10, 15, 20 feet, you're going to completely change that angle of that cast. And it's very, very vital, very, very important. I've had so many situations where if you had the right casting angle, you could catch just like fish after fish after fish on a spot. But if you move just a little bit and you change that angle, even though your bait's coming by there, you couldn't get a bite. It's amazing how that happens. Most of the pro fishermen, if you'll notice them watching some of these tournaments that they have on television, as soon as they catch a fish, they'll reach down and they'll punch a button on their trolling motor that is called a spot lock. And what it does, I use a Minn Kota, and what it does is it actually set your boat right there at that spot. So while you're fighting the fish, while you're landing the fish, unhooking it, putting it in a live well, throwing it back, whatever you're doing, your boat's not moved. It stayed. So you can get up there and make that exact same casting angle again. And that's exactly what you want to do. We also have power poles on our boat. So if we're up in shallow water, the moment we hook a fish, and the pros do it all the time, the moment we hook a fish, you hit that button, put those power poles down, and keeps your boat right there so you can duplicate that casting angle. No matter what kind of structure you're fishing, no matter what it may be, when you catch a fish, always try to exactly duplicate that casting angle. Many times you're going to find that there's more bass right in that same spot that you can catch. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, yep, I love you.